Welcome to Focal Point. I'm glad you all could be here tonight. I'm looking forward to an excellent show. And I'd like to introduce, well, I'm going to talk about both of the performers tonight, but first we're going to have Dana come out and he's going to do a 25-minute set. Then we'll have Bill come out and do a 25-minute set, and then we'll have both of them come out and perform together. So, but starting off with Dana Michael Anderson is a singer-songwriter. He's an incredible songwriter. He writes some very introspective, some very heartfelt songs. He's a great storyteller with his songs. He weaves his life experiences of love and loss into very sensitive songs. I really look forward to hearing him. He has a great style, and I just love listening to him. So he will be the first person to perform tonight. And then Bill Poss is also an excellent songwriter. He has written some incredible songs that I just love listening to on YouTube, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy him tonight. Bill also founded the Moccasin Creek Music Festival, and that's something that is really cool if you ever have a chance to get there. And so we have a couple heavy hitters tonight, and I would like to start off by welcoming Dana up to the stage. So give me a round of applause. Thank you, Matt.
It is so nice to be back here. It's one of my favorite places to play. I've never had the, actually I can't even say that. I thought I had never had the privilege of being a headliner here, but backstage there's a poster for the Scapegoats, which I was in at one point, and I have no recollection of that show whatsoever. So, a lot of head injuries over the last few years, a little bit of whiskey in my past. It was probably a really good show, considering I don't remember it. But it's really nice to be here, so thank you guys for inviting me. I've got some new songs that I haven't recorded yet or put out, and this first little set I want to just kind of run through a few of those and try them out on you, really. And this first one is, I had woken up one morning and I had Willie Nelson on my mind, and for some reason I was thinking about all of his characters in his songs and how influential his music and storytelling and really just the characters, how vivid they are to me, or at least relatable. And so I just wrote this one down thinking about how I didn't really grow up in cowboy boots and pearl snap shirts. My folks were into Motown and Three Dog Night and stuff like that, and but finding that inspiration in character and storytelling, and I was always drawn to the lonesome cowboy theme, I think. So this one is for Willie, wherever he is, and say thank you. Sad songs and waltzes, old flames and the road. I'd hate my fill of a long time ago. Can't cry forever and the ash don't burn. Too old to have nothing to show. Past catches up, brings its habits along, so you can't run away from yourself. Highs are the highest, lows are so rough. Life starts to hit like drugs. Could Willie sing it back when I was so young? Now I know why they just ride away. Tried to play it straight, lessons I learned too late. I'll be a fool for the rest of my days, lighting fires and just riding away. One thing, the comfort I crave more than most, older than hell all along. Grateful for the feeling of a good woman's touch, place to consider my home. Comes to me softly, I resist if I can. Wouldn't wish this upon any soul. Pull up my back till my head, hang my head, and I'll ramble a bit up the road. Heard Willie sing it back when I was so young. Now I know why they just ride away. Tried to play it straight, lessons I learned too late. I'll be a fool for the rest of my days, lighting fires and just riding away. Thanks. And part of those characters that are in his songs is the traveling kind, and I've done some in my past. I lived in Costa Rica for a little while, and I played on a cruise ship for a short period, and I've toured in Europe, and so you meet all these people on the road, and sometimes, you know, love happens, and you create these relationships that are really intense, and then you have to go back home, and so you have these short-lived loves. And on the cruise ship, they call it ship life. It's when you're working, you do contracts, so you're 2 months on this ship, 4 months on this ship, whatever, and you have these relationships. You see a lot of the same people, and so when you're on a ship with someone you have that sort of relationship with, you just go back to it. And when you're on another ship with a different person with that relationship, you go back to it there, and it's really strange. I didn't have enough cruises under my belt to get to experience the official ship life dating, but I have met my fair share of folks on the road that I fell for and think about a lot, and this is a song for them, and it's called Back to Nowhere. I was younger, living off the road, and there was nowhere. Felt I couldn't go, now I'm older. I'm still working these same shows, seems it might be, 'cause I got nowhere to go, and now I'm only being who I've always been. As foolish as that seems, my friend, so I'll be heading back to nowhere once again. You were out there, living like you'd rather die than I'd be free. We were paper boats that made it to the sea, from the gutters of those dirty hometown streets, to dreamers that refused to go to sleep. We were heading back to nowhere once again. There's some birds truly made for life, they'll only lay if Do they have to take that flight while one rests? Will the paint sky that reconnect? In the great by and by, now I'll always know that I can never be free, as long as you're not flying next to me. So I'll be heading back to nowhere once again. Thanks. Thank you very much. Well, Bill Poss was gracious enough to join me tonight. I love Bill's songs, and Bill as a person is fantastic. I just met him a few years ago. I went to an open mic in Effingham, and I found out he had this festival that was happening in Effingham every year, and it had all my favorite songwriters, and I didn't know about it. And so I'm a little mad at him for his advertising. But when I did find out about it, I started going immediately. And had folks like Slade Cleaves and John Fulbright and all these fantastic songwriters. And at the last one last year, I've had a few rough years. Anybody who knows me personally knows that. And I was considering quitting doing this. I was losing my voice constantly, and I was at that point where I was just like, I don't know if I have this in me anymore. And I was at the festival, and there's this guy named Oliver Steck, and he lives in Austin, Texas. Plays accordion, trumpet, he wears a bunny suit sometimes, and he was emceeing this thing, and he was joining other bands, playing songs he'd never heard before beautifully, and then he was up all night long at the campfires making 13-minute like epic songs up on the accordion, and he was just amazing. Like, he was always entertaining, he was always talented and always loving, and was just giving himself the whole night to everyone that was there. And at the 3 in the morning or whatever around a campfire, I look across and he's just 1,000-yard stare, probably asleep with his eyes open. And I was looking at him and I thought, man, when does he run out of energy? When does he run out of giving, you know? And I wrote this song like when I left the festival, thinking about me not knowing if I had enough to keep going, and thinking about how much Oliver had to give and how much he does. And so this is for anybody who just gives constantly. Like, it's not easy. This is about, I wrote it as a person talking to their significant other, and it's just them asking for a night to be able to refill that cup. So it's called Run Dry. I locked my heart up, know I'm holding on too tight. That last little bit of love, that last little bit of life, say it yours to make. That he chose to give away, holding on too tight to break you down, leave you torn free, and heaven makes it grow. Nothing's true of this, I know, but I'm afraid my well is almost dry. You don't need it, I'll be keeping it tonight. Pray for rain, something soaked through this dry ground, storm to splashing and surrounding, seep softly in, ease my hardened heart. I was taught to dance and brings grace by my elders' kind. I'm afraid my heart's so hurt that it won't ever stay in time. If you don't need it, I'll be keeping it tonight. I feel guilty in the morning, but I will try to make it right. And if I see that you need it more than me, I turn myself into the sand just to lead you to the sea. Even oceans turn to deserts over time. They run dry, but I know we'll be alright. Those are all new. They're not recorded yet. I have some other ones. I'm going to save a few of them for when me and Bill are splitting songs. I'll play this one because it's been kind of stuck in my head lately. It's an older one. It's on my second record. And I only have the newest record available at the merch table, which is Bottles. And you can find all three of my records on any of the streaming services or YouTube even for free. I'm not supposed to tell you that, but I'm okay with it. I'd rather you listen to it than not. So this is on my second record, and I wrote this a long time ago. I was probably in late 20s maybe, and I thought about how I really thought I knew everything when I was young, like completely convinced that I had it all figured out. And then feeling that way and like living my life like, oh, well, I've got all the answers, so why do I need to do anything, you know? And I'll just sit back and share my wisdom with the world or whatever. And that didn't really pay off, so I had to get some skills and stuff and jobs and real relationships and all that and learn how much I didn't know. So it's funny for me now to go back and listen to these songs. And so, but this one I think was, I was aware of how little I did know at the time. And it's called The Boy Who Knew It All. So. Was a boy who knew it all. Learned to walk before he crawled. Learned to talk before he had anything to say. Was always giving out advice, but it seemed he was always right. So no one ever gave advice to him. Swallowed every kind of word, from doctor to a clerk. He thought about most every single one. When his thinking was I'm done, he'd say no thanks, everyone. I know how that job is gonna end. He could've had it all if he wanted. If he just knew what it was. So he gave out his advice for the rest of his life. When he died, he had nothing at all. Just the title of the boy who knew it all. All the girls in the county thought he was handsome. To be married to a man with such a mind. Well, that thought was changed with just one conversation. Because it always ended up finishing deadlines. He could have had it all if he wanted.
quite the congregation. 1,000 people all showed up and cried. Well, the preacher said he left this world with nothing, 'cause he had given them not taking his advice. He could have had it all if he wanted, if he just knew what he would. So he gave out his advice for the rest of his life. When he died, he had nothing at all, just the title of the boy who knew it all.
Thanks. I'm not sure on time. Is Bill back there or out there?
Where's that? He's back.
He's back there, okay. You want me to do one more? Or? That's a yes. When the door closes, that means it's time. One more? Let's see. Since he's coming up here, I'll do this one. We wrote this together. And when I told Bill I was thinking about quitting, his response was, "Dana, I've quit so many times." I went to his house with this partial idea or whatever, and we sat on his couch and wrote this song about being a songwriter that is thinking about quitting. And so sometimes it's best just to go straight for the throat. But we were sharing ideas and thoughts, and I don't know why all these new songs have a lot of water themes, but this is a water theme one. And in my head, I'm a very visual thinker. I see movies or whatever when I think, and in this one I pictured the Mississippi River, and here I am somewhere in the middle, and like if I could drift on down to New Orleans, and the idea of like playing at parties and like marketing it as fun and selling it as like a good time band kind of stuff, because I've done all that as an entertainer. Or you can go north up the river to where it starts out as a little trickle and at the source of creativity and like originality and honesty, and make no money. And so that's what this song is about. It's like, do I keep drifting on down and take it easy in the Gulf of Mexico on a raft and sipping pina coladas, or do I keep fighting to write songs that I'm proud of? And so this is called the H&H Blues.
I was all washed up on the banks of the river. Current tried to drag me on down, but I swam like I fight with all of my might, too stubborn to sink or to drown. I could float on down the American dream, get up in the ocean of blue. But I struggled upstream with these songs that I sing, my heartache and hard traveling blues. With the lights from the stage, they can't dim the damn daylight. Tips aren't that bad or enough. Throw in the towel and take a job painting houses. It's hard traveling, sure it's kinda rough. I've fallen off ladders and kicked over buckets, got paint on my shirt and my shoes. So still I'll fight on with this flat top guitar, these heartache and hard traveling blues. Torn between neon and a 5 o'clock whistle, looking for some kind of clue. When old-time folk singer on a log by the bank, singing this is the life that I choose. If I hate to come back from heaven or hell, knowing that I'd be born to lose. He sang, I've seen the light, I know that I'm right. Ain't crazy, ain't drunk or confused. 'Cause folks here in town all still love to get down to my heartache and hard traveling blues. I've seen the light, I know that I'm right. I'm crazy, ain't drunk or confused. 'Cause folks here in town all still love to get down to my heartache and hard traveling blues. Yeah, the folks here in town all still love to get down to my heartache and hard traveling blues.
Thank you guys very much. We're going to get Bill up here, and then I'll be back to join him a little later on.
How about a big hand for Lena Anderson?
Well, my name is Bill Passalacqua, but everybody knows me as Bill Pass. So if I meet you later, you can save yourself the trouble of trying to learn how to say Passalacqua if you don't know how to say it already. It's a little bit much. But. So 20 years ago or so, I was in Germany, and I had this guitar part that I'd been working on for a long time. And it was had kind of a Latin flair to it, I thought. I was visiting a friend of mine, and he was in the military, he's in the Air Force, and he was upset because his refrigerator was too small, and so he was going to go buy a new refrigerator, and did I want to go along with him? And I said no. I said, I've been working on this song, and I've been putting this off, and I'm going to sit here and try to write this song while you go out and buy a refrigerator. And so as he was walking out the door, I played him the music that I was working on, and I said, what does that make you think of? And he said, it sounds to me like a beautiful Mexican woman. He was engaged to be married to a beautiful Mexican woman. And so maybe that was not having to do much with the music I was playing, or just what was on his mind. But he left, and I sat there at his table for 12 hours, and I wrote this song, and I wrote it until about 4 or 5 in the morning. And I always figured it was just a rough draft, and it would change over time, but it never did. This is exactly, almost exactly word for word what I wrote that night. And
Well, I ran out of gas at Eagle Pass, so close to the big brown line. All I packed was a guitar and a sack and a bottle of cheap red wine. On the corner I sat with a quarter in my hat. I was trying to make some change. She walked by with a look in her eye. That's when things got strange. Across the street, in a crowd of feet, 2 dice rolled up 11, and 2 beady eyes full of pain and lies in the car with the engine revving. In she went to the local 10-cent store. She came back out in a minute. She threw $1 in my hat, said, take a look at that. Then she walked to the car and got it in. So I looked at the note, I saw what she wrote as the car rolled across the Rio. It said, I marry a man with blood on his hands, Saturday night in Saltillo. I should have known better than to try to go get her. It was trouble made to order. But I sold my guitar, gassed up the car, and I headed straight for the border. I broke my parole the minute I rolled past the Office of Immigration. The Texas state line was a prison of mine per the rules of my probation. My dear sweet wife had lost her life in the fight to send me to jail. A cop had run in front of my gun, and the judge, he held me without bail. No job, no wife, no house, no life. I could leave and never look back. I had 24 hours to find that flower. I followed along their track. Yes, I went down to that mountain town. I parked somewhere in the middle, but churches abounded as I walked around looking for clues to that riddle. I found their car, it was parked not far from the church with a mission for the poor. The priest there said I could work for a bed, and he had me a mop on the floor. They were bringing in flowers, it was just 2 hours till the wedding bells would chime. They were bringing in chairs and tables to the square, and I was running out of time. When I could tell the wedding bell was about to take its toll, the ladies in wait had met their date. She was about to take that stroll. I left the limo driver barely alive, and I pulled it up to the door. I said, this is your chance to ditch this dance, but you can't come back no more. From inside there, all they saw was her hair as she shook out the pins in the veil. She hopped in the car and we got real far. They never did catch our trail. Now somewhere in the street in a crowd of feet, there's two dice rolling up 7 as we drive around this coastal town looking for a place to call heaven. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's yeah. So I'm wearing this shirt tonight. Do you like my shirt? It's stitched with the eagles on either side of it. My wife complains that you can see my nipples through it, but I don't think that's true. And so I wore it anyway because she's not here, and there's a pocket in front. I mean, I don't understand. But I think she just thinks you can see my nipples through it. I'm not sure why she cares so much about it. But anyway, like I said, she's not here tonight, so I'm wearing it. And I'm also wearing a hat. And normally I have an interesting hat, but I rode with Dana, and I left my interesting hat in my car. So you're stuck with nipples and a weird hat. Not weird, odd. How about that, odd? It's an advertisement hat. But anyway, enough about that. I have been working on some new songs, as Dana has. I think songwriters mostly are always thinking about the most recent songs that we've written, right? And I'd like to record these songs, but have not figured out yet exactly how I want to do that. And I've recorded 5 albums, and there's always been things I liked about them, things I didn't like about them. So just going through that process. But I live in my grandparents' house that they lived in from the time that they were young adults until they died. And my dad was raised there, and my uncle. It's fallen apart now, but it's still a beautiful piece of work. It's sort of Art Deco and built in 1952. But it's right next to the railroad tracks. And the railroad tracks get annoying, and there's a particular kind of train that goes across the railroad tracks by my house called, it's a coal train, but I call it the forever train, because some trains, they'll cross, they'll do some switching and things like that, but when the coal train comes, you might as well just settle in, because it's going to be a while. And I always seem to get cut on the wrong side of the forever train. And it was right before the pandemic hit, and I got stopped by the forever train, and I was sitting there. I was really angry, and I started writing this song. I thought it was going to be a song about my anger. And then an interesting thing happened. Well, the pandemic hit. That was the first interesting thing that happened, and that sort of settled my jets a little bit, because I wasn't in a hurry to get anywhere anymore. And the next thing that happened was then I wrote the second verse, right? And then the next thing that happened was a good friend of mine's wife died, and they lived right down on the same side of town as I did, so they were very familiar with the forever train also. And so then I wrote the third verse, and this is the song you want to hear right now. I'm parked right here in the middle of the road. My hand grips the wheel, my head's about to explode. No one to talk to, and there's nowhere to complain. I'm just stuck here waiting on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally reaches the end of the line, it'll pull into the station right on time. The radio's busted, my phone is dead. Stuck here with me all up in my head. I look in the mirror and I stare into my brain, going nowhere, waiting on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally reaches the end of the line, it'll pull into the station right on time. There's people in front of me, people in back, rocking along to the clickety-clack. Separate all together here on Lonesome Lane, counting the cars on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally reaches the end of the line, it'll pull into the station right on time.
I love playing with Dana. Really, I love just traveling with Dana because we sit and talk, and we have a lot of shared experiences. Not personally, like we didn't do them together, but we had the same experience separately, and we had to tell each other about it. And I tell him a thing I think is going to blow him away, and he's like, "I know exactly what you're talking about, man. This the thing happened to me just like that." And it's and I do, and then the same thing happens with him telling me stories. And one of them today was we were talking. He was mentioning on stage how he was trying to decide if he should just quit, you know. And I've done this many times. And I was telling Dana over dinner, I think it was, that I'm dedicated to the idea of not making all the same mistakes I've been making in my career, you know. And and he was relating to that a little bit. But this is a song that I wrote sitting in my grandparents' house, and I was looking out the back window. And I was thinking about my grandfather, who was like a really successful businessman. He was born very poor, and he made a lot of money. But he had some certain things about him that he couldn't seem to change that were bad. And I won't tell you all the stories, but this is a story. I was sitting looking out the back window at this big tree that was totally bare of any leaves because it was wintertime. And for some reason, this song just poured out of me, and I sat there for about an hour, wrote it, and one of the easy ones, you know. It's about my inability to change. I got my back to the sunset, watching as my shadow grows. Here it is almost tomorrow. Here I stand, yesterday's clothes. You've been gone for a year now. Why can't I let you go? I keep looking over my shoulder, standing here, yesterday's clothes. You asked me to give just a little,
compromise, find the middle. And those words rattled and rang like a riddle. Now the cold wind blows, and it's coming on winter. And a big oak tree looks so lonely and foolish without any leaves. And I'm the only one who grieves, standing here in yesterday's clothes. You bought me blue jeans and flannel, wood smoke and clove filled my nose. Stockings were hung from the mantle, but now they're just yesterday's clothes. Maybe I'll clean out my closet or reconsider the fashion I chose. I could take a long hard look in the mirror and maybe change out of yesterday's clothes. You asked me to give just a little, to compromise, find the middle. And those words rattled and rang like a riddle. Now the cold wind blows, and it's coming on winter. And a big oak tree looks so lonely and foolish without any leaves. And I'm the only one who grieves, standing here in yesterday's clothes. And I'm the only one who grieves, standing here in yesterday's clothes. Thank you. So when I first started playing music, I was just out of law school at the University of Illinois. I moved away to Austin, Texas, where all my favorite songwriters were living at the time, and I got a job there. I thought I'd get a job like in the music, business, like a business lawyer or something like that. I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. But I just started playing the guitar. I was about 27 years old or 28 years old. And I got a job at a restaurant. And I started playing some shows around town. And I was not very good. I was not a very good songwriter. I was not a very good singer. And I couldn't play the guitar very well. But I had some good friends. And they would come out and support me, And so I thought I was getting better. And mostly they were all just like meeting up and partying at my shows. And that was fun. But I suppose I was getting better a little bit, but I had a friend who was on Rounder Records, really good guitar player, a blues-style guitar player and singer-songwriter guy named Peter Kane. And Peter, he said, "Bill, if you're serious about doing this," he says, "I'm going to give you some advice." He says, you need to get out of Austin, move away somewhere where you don't know anybody, and just play the guitar, write songs, sing 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day if you can. Do that for a long time, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you get a lot better. And you got what it takes to be on stage, but you just aren't musically. You're not there. So I did. I sold everything I owned except for a backpack full of clothes and a guitar, and I kept my truck, which I parked at my parents'. And I moved to the Virgin Islands. And I moved to St. John first, and then after about a month of camping on the beach in St. John, I moved to St. Thomas, and I got a job waiting for me there. And so I went over there, and I was working as a waiter. Now, when I imagined going down there, I have to admit to you that it was not exactly what Peter had in mind. Peter really wanted me to suffer and like go through some things and thereby gain some wisdom and stuff like that. But in my mind, when I thought about moving to St. John or St. Thomas, I thought that I was going to be hanging out on the beach and playing my guitar and writing great songs and making a lot of friends and hanging out and maybe some girls and kissing them and things like that. None of that was happening for the first month that I was there. I mean, I did hang out on the beach a little bit and I did drink, but it was not the experience that I was expecting. And so when I got to St. Thomas, I got my job at the restaurant. And I did play a lot of guitar and sing a lot of songs, but I hadn't written any songs. But when I got to St. Thomas, one of the guys that was in the guest house where I was living also had a guitar, and he liked to sit around the pool at night, and we would swap songs, And so
I was really jazzed to finally have a friend, right? And so so about 2 weeks into this new friendship of mine, Willie's name is Willie Ford. And Willie, he asked me if he could borrow $200 because he didn't have his rent, and he wasn't going to get paid until Friday. This is like on Tuesday or something. And so I gave him $200. I was a waiter, so I had money in my pocket. He said thanks. He gave me his guitar as collateral, and I said, Willie, that's not necessary. You know, I know where you live, right? And he's like, no, just take it. That way I'll feel better if you take it. So I took the money. I took the guitar. He took the money, and then a few days went by. I didn't see him, and I got back from a gig on Saturday night, and I thought, I'm going to go get my guitar and get Willie's guitar, and I'm going to go to the pool and wait for Willie there. And so I went to my room. I stuck the guitar under my bed, but guess what? The guitar was not there when I went to get it. And my guitar was there, and my stuff was all there, but the one thing that was missing was Willie's guitar. And I thought, oh no, someone has stolen Willie's guitar. I better go tell Willie. So I went to the pump room where Willie lived, and Willie was not there either. And so I started putting two and two together, and I figured out what happened, and I wrote this song about it. Well, my name is Willie Ford, and I am a rat. I'm a social parasite, and I can live with that. I've lost all connection with what's morally right. Between cocaine and treachery, I'm up all night. And I act like a beggar, but really I'm a thief, aspiring to nothing, holding no belief. I am not a stranger, and I am not your friend. You don't get it now, but you'll get it in the end. Yes, you will. My name is Willie Ford, and I know that I'm a rat, but I'll be long gone before you know that. I'll lie to your face and sneak behind your back. I'm gonna borrow on my guitar, burn you for a stack. And I stay up all night, and I sleep all day long. I used to go to work, now I just sing this song. I've sold my soul 1,000 times, it's your turn to buy my smile and my laughter and my big fat lie. Well, my name is Willie Ford, and I do like to drink, and I'll do what I can to make you think. We are fellow travelers, we're brothers in arms. I'm gonna smile and laugh and sing a song, fire up my charm. Well, my name is Willie Ford. My name is Willie Ford. My name is Willie Ford, and I'm a piece of shit. My conscience don't bug me, but the flies won't quit. If you smell me coming, you best beware. Hold your nose and watch your step and head for fresher air. Hold your nose and watch your step and head for fresher air. Hold your nose and watch your step and head for fresher air. Thank you very much. Well, it's a great time of year. All the stuff starts popping out of the ground. I got some tomatoes, and you got some peppers on the vine already, getting a lot of lettuce and stuff. But also it's the time of year when the farmers start cutting the hay, and this is a song I wrote about that. So if just want to let you know, if you're a hay farmer, this song is available as a jingle for you. You're welcome to shout along if you want. It's I yell "Hey for sale," and then you yell "Hey for sale." There's not a lot of training involved. You don't have to know how to sing or anything. It's just kind of fun. And so just like I call it a shout along, you know.
hay for sale, hay for sale. We got round bales, we got square bales, hay for sale, hay for sale. We haul a heavy load, hay for sale, hay for sale. We got ryegrass and coastals, say we got plenty of hay for sale. See, I knew you could do it. So robust in this room. It's awesome. They got bluegrass in Kentucky, they got wheatgrass up in Kansas, but central Louisiana is where the best hay grows. Texas hasn't seen a drop of rain since April 2nd. That's why our grass costs more than the grass from Mexico. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We got round bales, we got square bales. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We haul a heavy load. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We got ryegrass and coastal. We got plenty of hay for sale. And we got our first cutting before the summer started. We got our second cutting before the end of June. We got our third cutting, and it's rolling down the highway. If we get a fourth cut, we'll have a new truck soon. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We got round bales, we got square bales. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We haul a heavy load. Hay for sale, hay for sale. We got a ryegrass and coastal. Well, we got plenty of hay for sale. You know, we got plenty of hay for sale. We got plenty of hay for sale. How are we doing on time? It's a loaded question, I know. I'm wondering if I should do one song or two songs. But two? Okay. My songs are really short. It's one of the great things about buying my CDs. If you don't like a song, it's over before you know it. But on average, you'll like a lot of the songs. I do have a number of CDs available, and I do have an album, like an old school LP thing. And so that song is on the big one. And there's a CD version of that as well. So do you want to hear kind of a funny song that my wife hates because she's not here? Okay, or there's other options. Like, you want to wait here? What's that? You're going to go with that no matter what? Okay. There's probably several. I think you'll figure it out why she hates it. My mother also hates it, and she's also not here. So, all right, nobody to tell. No flash photography. All right, I got to remember this song now. Okay, Promises, Promises. Both my girlfriends have the same last name. It's the kind of thing that'd bring a lesser man shame. But I just smile and nod as we walk the promenade. Me and my girlfriends with the same last name. A man's a king of his own castle, that's what they claim. Now me, I've got no fancy title, but just the same, I've got a house within which I'm the Earl of Sandwich, between my two girlfriends with the same last name. Well, I got no money, and I got no fame, but hey man, I've got two girlfriends with the same last name. They get to fighting over me, you know they shout in harmony. Those two girlfriends with the same last name. Like I said, I got two girlfriends with the same last name. They've got teeth like pearls and lips like cherry flame. But if you think their smiles are pretty, you should see the twin kitties on the laps of my two girlfriends with the same last name. You're a dirty, dirty man. I've got two girlfriends with the same last name. Their mama's not the kind to go casting blame. No, she rented us a U-Haul, said, boy, take them up to Utah. Then all three of you could have the same last name. I got six daughters. They all got the same last name. And even I've got to admit that things have gotten kind of strange. You should see them fall to pieces when I call them my nieces and the daughters of my girlfriends with the same last name. And now I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. That's plural, possessive. Rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm gonna lay around the shack until the mail train comes back. Rolling in, both my girlfriends aren't. Whew. All right, well, I told you, I warned you. That's also you may think to yourself, that's probably too stupid to be on a record, but you would be wrong. That is also on my record back there. So, sorry? Gonna be out. I hope you like it. Like Dana said, my music is all on Spotify, so it's available for free if you don't want to just bypass all that shit back there. But I will tell you, that even 100% of the take tonight is not going to be that much. So if you feel like subsidizing Dana and myself, anyway. You laugh so nicely that I'm really tempting to play more funny songs, but I should probably do something to make you take me seriously. What should I do? Oh, all right. I told you earlier that my grandpa was a complicated man, and he was. He used to drink. He used to get really drunk. Like, he would work really hard for like 6 months, and then he would get drunk for 3 weeks. And he was really good at it. But he would often just disappear. There's a summer kitchen behind my house. I tried to get Dana to live in it, but he wouldn't do it. But there's a summer kitchen behind my house. It's perfect for a drunk person because there's nowhere to go wrong, really. You just hang out in there. And he would get drunk, and he would go to the summer kitchen instead of coming into the house. And one time, he got really, was on a bender, you know. And my grandma saw him go into the summer kitchen. He drove home, you know, like this. And he went to the summer kitchen, and he was taking a nap, but she knew that he would sleep for an hour or two and then get back up and get back at it, drinking again. So she called the sheriff, and she wanted the sheriff to come out because she needed someone to take care of the situation. And the sheriff said, "No, ma'am, we're not going to come out because if we come out, someone's going to get hurt." But the sheriff said, "Call me when he's asleep." And so she kind of kept her eye on the summer kitchen, and when he fell asleep, she called the sheriff, and just a little bit later, a car pulled up, and it was the veterinarian. And the veterinarian shot him, snuck up on him and shot him with a tranquilizer, and he slept for about 3 days, and then he was fine. So that's a... So anyway, this is not nearly as funny. My uncle was dying of lung cancer. He told me that story, and a lot of other stories. But one of the stories he told me was about my dad went away to college, and my uncle was a couple years younger. He was like a sophomore in high school, and he got really scared when my grandpa got drunk, and my dad wasn't there to soothe it over with everybody. So he didn't know what to do, so he took his .410 shotgun, and he loaded it, and he stuck it under the blue spruce tree in front of the house. It's still there. This is like 40, 50, that was more than that. It's probably 60 years ago that it happened. And so that blue spruce tree is still in front of my house, and there's not a gun there. I looked. But anyway, that's inspired me to write this song. This is not a true story about my family, but it's a true story that I made up. I should say I co-wrote the song with Slade Cleaves, and Slade didn't write any of the words or any of the music. He just kept telling me, not good enough. And then I would come back the next time, and after about 10 times I was finished, and he got a co-write. I grew up at a crossroads on the Illinois Central line. Late at night, you could hear the whistle blow. Sometimes after midnight, my daddy'd stumble in. Voices started rising from below. My daddy had some money, he owned the grain and feed. He was a well-respected man. He drank too much whiskey, more than any man should need. He came home with an empty heart and a heavy hand. A rich man hears a whistle blow and he hears the sound of money. A mother hears a train that took her baby away. A young man hears a long, slow ride to a land of milk and honey. The sound of his mama crying in the kitchen as the train rolled away. It was a cold December dawn when I heard the front door slam. I knew he was looking for a fight. In my bedroom I lay trembling in hatred and in fear, in a darkness barely touched by the morning light. Through the house he rumbled and through the house he roared. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. When my mama hit the floor, I swore that it would end, and I set my mind on the barrel of his gun. The rich man hears a whistle blow and he hears the sound of money. A mother hears a train that took her baby away. A young man hears a long, slow ride to a land of milk and honey. And the sound of his mama crying in the kitchen as the train rolled. Now there's a shotgun in a boxcar in a freight train headed south. Me, I'm in a coal car headed... I got that backwards, wait. There's a shotgun in a boxcar in a freight train headed west. Me, I'm in a coal car rolling south. Many are the miles in my future that I see. No more fear inside my mother's house. We once lived in tears together, now we're safe but all alone. And I swear at night I can hear my mama cry as the trains keep rolling and the whistles keep blowing at that crossroads on the Illinois Central line. A rich man hears a whistle blow and it sounds just like money. A mother hears a train that took her baby away. A young man hears a long, slow ride to a land of milk and honey. And the sound of my mama crying in the kitchen as the train rolled away. I hear the sound of a long, slow ride to a land of milk and honey. And the sound of my mama crying in the kitchen as the train rolled.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to sitting down with Dana and swapping some songs and telling some stories. And I want to thank you all for being here. My name is Bill Pass. My records are back there, and I'd love to say some. So I'm going to meet you on the break. So thank you very much for listening to my songs.
We thrive on variety. So please check our emails the newsletter that we send out every week. Check our website. There's always something for somebody out there. So come and enjoy the music and the listening venue. And with that, I'm going to turn the show back over to Dana and Bill.
Thank you. My old drummer plays in Jake's leg. Yeah.
Is he any good?
He's very good. Yes.
Well, you want to get us started off, Dana? I enjoyed your set so much. I just can't wait to hear you play some more songs.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's not bullshit.
I thought you were bullshitting. That's totally filler bullshit.
No, it's not.
All right, Bill, we'll talk about this on the ride home.
All right.
Well, I did undersell the importance of buying our merchandise earlier, so you owed me. So this is the title track to the last record that I put out, and really proud of this song. I like this one. When I wrote it, I had seen an interview with it was a African physician, and he had come to the U.S. and toured mental health facilities, and then they asked his opinion, and he had said that in our country we work people through their issues, and in the U.S. it seems that you just medicate the person and push them aside, and then they're just medicated for the rest of their lives. And I thought about that, and I was like, damn, maybe he's right. I hope I don't get any crazier than I am. And But I thought about how we have all these things in bottles that we use to treat our emotions and our thoughts and everything. And so I wrote this song. And as depressing as that sounds, this is actually a pretty happy sounding song. Like it's, I basically took a really dark idea and was like, how do I pep this up a bit?
I was telling Dana on the way over here, about something the other day. He said, Bill, you're the only one who likes bottles. The song. And I was like, that's not true, because it's a great song. Everybody likes this song.
You're the only one that requests it.
Oh, maybe
that's what it is. So here it is. By request, sort of. Bottles.
I've been drinking from this bottle, getting hard to put it down. Little night of truth, it's fueled by little courage that I found. The morning I'll be better, at least in other people's eyes. Putting my dreams back in the bottle, saving for some other time. Sometimes filled with sorrow, I've been holding it so tight, saying I'll go back tomorrow and make everything alright. Scars are on the surface, only healing now is time. Wish I let go of that bottle, leave these words far behind. I've got everything in bottles, rain so neatly on my shelf. I recommend you check the label before you grab one for yourself. Sometimes filled with fury, just can't wait to make my stand. It's a man who has been holding all of my dreams there in his hand. The things that I'll do to him just set those visions free. When I look back at that bottle, plain to see it's holding me. I've got everything in bottle, rain so neatly on my shelf. I recommend you check the label, grab one for yourself. Now the bottles that they give me, well, they're all just filled with pills, one for every other bottle that I haven't quite yet killed. This is for my pain, up until it's time to leave. But I'm sure it's for their comfort, it's how that label reads to me. I've got everything in bottles, rain so neatly on my shelf. I recommend you check the label before you grab one for yourself. I've got everything in bottles, rain so neatly on my shelf. Recommend you check the label before you grab one for yourself.
Thanks.
Well, I was talking to this nice lady here on the break, and we were discussing the fact that Willie Ford and some other songs, Crossroads, I think, was not on Spotify. And I thought, so I should tell you that. in case you were counting on that. You're going to want to buy my record for sure.
Why didn't I think of that?
What's that?
Just leave a song or two off.
Right.
A good one.
Anyway, this is a song. I was telling her that my most popular song is called Jackrabbit. And she said, "Did you play that?" I said, "No, I didn't play that. But I'm going to right now. And if I had a greatest hits album, this would be the only song on it. And it's true. I mean, in terms of like radio play and stuff, this song has got like a ton of exposure. Lots of people know this song. Like around campfire, I could walk up to a campfire and maybe hear this song because people have learned it and stuff. So it's I'm flattered when that happens. But it's not a hit or anything. But it is my hit. So I'll play it for you. It's called Jackrabbit. And people often ask me about writing this song, and I don't have any recollection at all of writing it. And I remember the first time I played it in public was on the Boulder Mall, the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado. And and some guy's like, what were you thinking when you wrote that song? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't remember writing it. But I'm pretty sure I did, you know. Anyway, nobody else did. I had a dog. His name was Jackrabbit. Throw him a stick, throw him a bone, he'd jump right up and grab it. Run like the wind, jump like a deer, there you have it. The best damn dog a man ever had. His name was Jackrabbit. My dear wife named Big Nellie, she'd laugh so hard she'd shake like jelly. And she'd send Jackrabbit to the grocery store with $1 in his collar and sometimes more. Well, I had a dog. His name was Jackrabbit. Throw him a stick, throw him a bone, he'd jump right up and grab it. Woof! Run like the wind, jump like a deer, there you have it. The best damn dog a man ever had. His name was Jackrabbit. You see a rabbit run, say, "Get him, Jack." You count to 10 and he'd bring it on back. He could run a dead sprint through a holler log. He was half blue heeler and a half hound dog. Well, I had a dog. His name was Jackrabbit. Throw him a stick, throw him a bone, he'd jump right up and grab it. Run like the wind, jump like a deer, there you have it. Best damn dog a man ever had. His name was Jackrabbit. Well, my first boy we named Red Jimmy. He'd throw up a stick and say, "Jump Jack, gimme," and that dog would grab it out of the air. He took first place at the county fair. Well, I had a dog. His name was Jackrabbit. Throw him a stick, throw him a bone, he'd jump right up and grab it. Run like the wind, jump like a deer, there you have it. The best damn dog a man ever had. His name was Jack, the best old dog a man ever had. Oh, his name was Jack, the best darn dog a man ever had. His name was Jackrabbit. Oh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Can I get my guitar turned down just a little bit in the monitor, please? Thank you.
We're closer to him now. Nice. Well, you're probably wondering why we split the sets up like this, but I'm a big fan of the songwriter circles, and I enjoy the conversations with the other folks in between. I basically need a prompt to think of what I'm going to do next, and so if I have Bill to talk to, that helps, or to listen to and see what he's doing. But this one is, I'm trying to do some of the newer ones I haven't got recorded yet, and this is one of them, and I was walking around my house doing laundry or vacuuming or whatever, and I was singing the chorus to a Billy Strings song to myself, and it was Dust in a Baggie is the name of the song, and the chorus is, I used my only phone call to contact my daddy, I got 20 long years for some dust in a baggie. And I was singing it over and over again because I don't know any of the rest of the song, and on the 115th time I caught myself doing it, and I was like, man, you either need to learn the rest of this song or go write your own drug song. And I was thinking, well, which one's easier? Because I'm lazy. And I thought, well, writing my own sounds easier than learning a Billy String song because he's really good. And so I went upstairs and I grabbed my guitar and my phone and I went on Google and I looked up a list of illicit narcotics. And I just went down the list and I was like, oh, I know that one and I know what that tastes like and I know a guy. And I just went down the list and I was like, okay. And so I just wrote based off that list. Like I just went down and if I had any kind of frame of reference to it, it went in the song. And so this is called The List.
I've got dust to keep me dancing, I've got loot to lay me down, got booze to keep me smiling till the morning comes around. Got caffeine for the headache, I've got weed to ease the pain, acid on my tongue just to keep from going insane. I've got mescaline dreams where my spirit takes flight on a peyote plane through the desert overnight. With a truck of speed and nicotine when I'm out on a run, and me racing with the moon and me chasing down the sun. Psilocybin when I'm camping, DMT when I'm alone, seeing God walking downstream, swim the halls of this old home. Got MD's my aching, oxycodone makes me numb. If I'm taking too much X, find me sucking on my thumb. I've got mescaline dreams when my spirit takes flight on a peyote plane through the desert overnight. With a couple drops of adrenochrome, the countdown soon begins. I'll be orbiting with satellites, little green man. Taking steroids for my muscles, but I never hit the gym. Now I'm stuck here popping back knee, and I'm waiting for my boss to drop again.
That always makes me laugh every time.
Got smack to keep me lazy, crystal meth when I need perk. Got poppers for laughing, special K to make it worse. Adderall to pay attention, I sell sperm to pay my bills. On the days I go to work, I take little blue pills. I've got mescaline dreams where my spirit takes flight on a peyote plane through the desert overnight. And if I'm feeling lonesome and I'm willing to pretend, I just let myself a roofie and I use my other hand. I've got Xanax when I'm anxious and I wash it down with gin and Ambien to get some sleep, and then I start all over again. Don't do drugs without me.
Thanks. By the way, my nose just itches. It says, and it's that whole time. It has nothing to do with that song or anything in that song.
Well, I love that song. That's going to be on your new record too?
I hope so. Yeah.
All right. I don't think marijuana is even legal in Missouri, is it? Only medical? That's not right, man. You guys need to get together on that deal, because I mean, gay marriage is legal in the whole country now. In Illinois, and you may not know this, but in Illinois where we live, they passed medical marijuana and gay marriage or union or whatever on the same day. It was like, yeah, and you have to do it that way. It's not right to have the gay marriage without the legal marijuana. It's in the Bible. It says if two men, it's in Leviticus, I think. It says if two men are going to lay together, they should be stoned. And I think they really like it, though. All right. You got your drug song, I got mine. Here's mine. I had a request for this earlier. I come from a long line of self-abusers. My great-grandpa was an opium user. My old man, well, he liked the drink, and that's where I get it from, I think. We're only here for a short, short while. You may as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? My Uncle Benny, he did yoga and he always ate right. And he got hit by a train last night. His wife Betty never once sniffed glue. She was riding shotgun and she's dead too. We're only here for a short, short while. You may as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? My buddy Ed had a garden. He used to give me cucumbers. Now he's got the sickness and his days are numbered. He's replanted the garden in a different seed. Now he throws away the veggies and he keeps the weed. We're only here for a short, short while. You may as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? My granny's got the nerves, you should see her shake. She swears that it ain't from the pills she takes. She says it's the coffee that shakes her hand, but it ain't the percolator, it's the Percodan. We're only here for a short, short while. You may as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? Well, my Aunt Irene, she's a bit obscene. She likes the dirty movies and magazines. She's rubbed the zippers out of all her jeans, and the corners of the table have a glossy sheen. We're only here for, so I told you, you're a dirty man. You might as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? Well, last night I dreamed that I met my ruin from all the drugs and alcohol that I'd been consuming. I woke up with a smile in my belly fat. I got up, laughed it off and said, I'll drink to that. 'Cause people are uptight wherever you go. Somebody points a finger and tells you no. When I'm dead and gone, the plain truth will be that I never done harm to anyone but me. We're only here for a short, short while. You may as well go around in style. I was born with one foot in the grave, so whose life am I gonna save? Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you. I want to say that song was co-written by my good buddy Greg Klima, and just because the proper credit where credit is due, Greg will be at the Moccasin Creek Festival next weekend. Dana Anderson will also be at the Moccasin Creek Festival next weekend. Can I tell them just quickly, sort of, John Fulbright, one of the greatest songwriters going in America, is going to be at the Moccasin Creek Festival on Saturday. Trout Fishing in America, a legendary folk festival band, going to be there on Friday and Saturday. The Bernie Sisters, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mighty Pines, One Way Traffic. Who am I leaving out a lot? Probably the Accidentals, Love Seat. My wife and I, Love Seat. Charlie Roth. Just a ton of great performers and talent. So it's cheap, $100. Tiny little festival. It's easy.
It's a good one.
Flush toilets. That's a kicker right there, I'll tell you what.
That's worth the price of admission. Right on.
I kind of also want to know what my playing Jackrabbit had to do with you playing a song about drugs. I mean,
Nothing. I was just trying to explain to them why we switched up to this format.
Right. Okay. All right.
Because I prefer this format. Like, I always thought I'm my best at after the show, at the party house afterwards, around the kitchen table with like 2 other people, everybody's falling asleep somewhere. That's when I feel like that's when I'm at my best. And so anything I can do to set that up on stage, I will do that. So I try to get the kitchen table atmosphere going wherever I can to...
We'll have it for you next time.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. Just don't invite his, what was your aunt? She'll rub the corners wrong.
Oh, man. We should say a big thanks to the staff here. They're
absolutely
all working here out of the love of their hearts. So thank you guys very much for putting this on.
So this is a brand new song. I don't think you haven't heard this one. I don't think, and I know 2 people have over there, and but when they're new, you're not sure. Like you go out and you play them, and you like. I love open mics for that very reason. I'll go to open mics just to try new stuff and see how it feels through a PA and how it lands with an audience or whatever. But I like this one. It's kind of unique for me as far as like the sound, I guess. At least it felt that way when I wrote it. And I had COVID like a month and a half ago, I don't know how long it's been, and it was bad. Like I was really, really sick. And when I finally got better, I was still locked up for a couple weeks, whatever, so as to not share it with anyone. And it was very emotional for some reason. And this day I was kind of angry. I was in a kind of a mood, and I was thinking about all those people who kind of gatekeep music. And I worked at a record store, so I'm guilty for sure. My favorite was there was this young kid and his girlfriend came in, and he was being really rude to her, and you could tell that she just had learned to be quiet around him and take it instead of like confronting him. And he came up to the counter, and I'd seen this vibe, this energy they were giving each other, and she was not happy, and he was being very brash and garish and loud. And he was like, "Hey, do you have mest?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Mest, do you have mest?" And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And he goes, "Mest, do you have, mest?" And I go, "I still don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth." And he turned to her and to his girlfriend and goes, "This guy doesn't know who Mest is." And I finally heard the word, it's Mest. And it's a band. And I was like, "Oh, you said Mest. Messed, like I messed my pants, like that word, that's what you were looking for?" I was like, "Did you check under M? Because that's where it would be." And she like smiled really big, but away from him. And she was like, "Thank you." Like, this guy's an ass. And then they moved me up to the warehouse and told me I couldn't work on the floor anymore. So, but like, I regret that. That really wasn't about judging his music, but mess does suck. And, but I'm not a fan of folks who do that, like, to the face of people. And so this song is kind of like a, you know what, I don't need your opinion. I'm going to just do what I do, and I'm good with it. I like it. You don't have to kind of song, I think.
I've kicked it down the line for so long, and I've never been alone, 'cause I have songs. Bits and pieces tell me when I'm gone. I tell you if I found out what went wrong. Hold my hand, walk away, I could not care. Have it your way, I'm gone. They'll tell you when you're holding up the line, pick you apart on sight, although they're blind. Cut your strings just to give you slack. You'll drift away, they'll try to pull you back. Take my hand and walk away, I could not I'm gone. I've had enough of lonesome, lost and tried. I've had enough of lonesome, lost and tried.
Sometimes I hit the falsetto, sometimes I don't. But I'm leaving it. I don't care.
I like the new song. I'd not heard it before. I thought for sure, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, but I haven't. Dana and I see each other frequently, but I have a brand new song I think maybe you haven't heard, so I'm going to play it. I'm going to warn you, it's really new. It's only just like a week old or something. So I'm probably going to mess up a little bit, but I don't care. I hope you don't care. It's a song I wrote about hitting on my wife. And she kept asking me what it was about, and I didn't want to tell her. And but eventually, I sort of laid it out for her. Baby, have I told you that I love you? Maybe that is old news, but it's true. If that's what it takes for me to hold you, then that's what I'm gonna do. The language of love is peculiar, as vague as a rose or a wedding ring. A silly joke may be my go-to, but what does it mean? It means I wanna hold you. Could you be just a little bit more demanding, so I could know just what you need? Is it just compassion and understanding, or do you want me to bleed? The language of love is peculiar, as vague as a rose or a wedding ring. A sexy joke may be my go-to, what does it mean? It means I want to hold you. I'm sorry for all these silly questions. There's no need to answer anyway. It's just I want to be your romancer, and I don't know what to say. The language of love is peculiar, as vague as a rose or a wedding ring. A dirty joke may be my go-to, but what does it mean? It means I want to hold you. Thank you. Should we do one more each and call it a night?
Sounds good.
Okay, I hope you have a serious song because I have a really funny one. So.
I have a serious song.
Okay, all right. Awesome. So a good balance
Good
we
balance.
strike.
That's why I like working with you, Bill. Seriously. This one's I was in between things. I was my marriage was ending, and I was staying at a friend's house, crashing on his futon in the living room, and I had a pile, very small pile of what I owned in the corner of that room, and on top of it was my suit. And the only reason I even had the suit was somebody had given me a gift card to like Men's Warehouse. And I went there and I gave him the gift card and I said, I just want a black coat, black pants, a black tie, a white shirt. I want to wear it to weddings and bar mitzvahs and funerals, and then you can just bury me in it when I'm done. And the salesperson goes, do you want me to throw in the white socks so you can wear it as a Blues Brothers costume for Halloween? And I said, yes. And so I'm sitting there. I woke up one morning after a long night, and I looked over in the corner. I saw that suit on top of my pile of stuff, and I thought, what if I just wore that every day for the rest of my life? Like, that's it. That's my outfit. That's my uniform. Like, when you see Dana, you'll know because he's wearing that black suit. And I thought, and I got to thinking about that, and I wrote this song. And so this is called Tired Old Suit. That's good left on this tired old suit. I've grown accustomed to these holes in my shoes. I remember how it felt when I bought it brand new. But there ain't much that's good left on this tired old suit. There's these holes in my pockets where my money falls through. It's what I'd been saving to give back to you. Could've sworn there was more, well, I guess it fell through. All the holes in the pockets on this tired old suit. Cuffs are both frayed from rolling up sleeves. Fights in the alley and work week after week. Worn in the knees from the prayers that I keep. Leaving unanswered before I fall asleep. And the elbows won't pain from the bars where I lean. There's a tear I repaired from a fall in the streets. All the places and people that I've run into, with the stitches I put in this tired old suit. There's lipstick on the collar, these little blood stains. A constant reminder of love and of pain. I've heard poets tell how they
remain the same. So when I look at this suit only, the one still remains. My feet have grown used to these holes in my shoes. Walking round aimless and from running from fools. Learn to jump puddles and those rocks I remove. With the distance I've traveled and the soles of these shoes. From birthdays to funerals, well, I've worn this old suit. And I remember how it felt when I bought it brand new. They say the clothes make the man, I say the man makes the suit. The longer you wear it, the more it looks like you. From birthdays to funerals and this tired old suit. Thanks.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure playing for you folks. Dana Anderson, I'm Bill Pass. We will see you, I hope some of you, maybe we'll see you next weekend at the Moccasin Creek Festival.
That'd be great.
But I got one more song for you. And again, this is one of those that I ask you to sort of shout along with me. And this is a song about my chickens. And it's it's a sort of a true story. I was at my mom's house, and my mom's house is like 100 yards away from my house. You probably think I live on some kind of weird compound. I do. I live on a weird compound. But I was coming home, and my chickens I had let out to just roam around, and I was thinking to myself, one of these days my chickens are they're just going to be gone, you know, and I'll never know what happened. And so I started thinking about that, and then I wrote the song. And I want you to, when I in the chorus, in the first verse I say bok bok bok. Just let that pass, okay? But in the chorus, when I say bok, 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 you're supposed to sort of back at me. Bok, bok, bok. Okay? All right? I think everybody knows what a chicken sounds like, right? Yeah, okay. That's not very reassuring, folks. Anyway, I hopefully you've all well enough lubricated that you're going to play along with me here. This is a lot more fun if you do. I got a couple chickens in my little chicken shed. They go bok, bok, bok when they want to get fed. And every afternoon, I let them out to roam. And then one day, my chickens just didn't come home. A bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, bok, bok. My chickens just didn't come home. Another third time, sorry. You guys did great. It was my fault. I should have told you. Should have warned you of that trap coming. But anyway. You done really good. Sounds really good out there. Maybe coons got them. Maybe feral cats. Maybe they don't like me. I never thought about that. Maybe I never should have let them roam. Cause then one day my chickens just didn't come home. A bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, bok, bok. My chickens just didn't come home. Well, my chickens can't fly, but they sure can run. And my dogs will chase them just for fun. Those chickens don't care, cause they love to roam. But then one day, my chickens just didn't come home. A bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, 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 a bok, bok, bok. My chickens just didn't come home.
Well, I miss them chickens and I miss them eggs. Big balls of feather with skinny little legs. I miss them squawking and scratching at the loam. 'Cause then one day my chickens just didn't come home. A bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok. The chickens just didn't come home. A bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok, a bok bok bok. My chickens just didn't come home.
Thank you very much for playing along, folks.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks to the Focal Point for having us.